Howdy. Happy Wednesday. I hope you guys are having the best Wednesday of your life. It should be because it's the last Wednesday of 2020 and New Year's Eve is tomorrow. So I hope you all have some really cool plans. Of course, being safe, but also planning to have fun. I know that Weston and I are going to a New Year's Eve party and the theme is Death to 2020. So of course, naturally, I'm wearing my Metallica shirt with the Grim Reaper on it. Naturally. Dressed in all black, of course. But, anyway, it's Wednesday, so I got some knowledge to drop for you guys. And today, I want to talk about runners. All right? And I want to tell you why there's 5 reasons that runners absolutely need to lift weights. Or resistance train in general. Okay? All right, so let's dive right in. Without further ado, you got to lift weights if you're a runner. All right? And here's why. Reason number 1, all right? The biggest thing that runners deal with is aches, pains, and injuries. And the most common aches, pains, and injuries are shin splints, runner's knee or patella tendonitis, stiff hip flexors, and low back pain, all right? And doing a little bit of resistance training can help mitigate all of those things, all right? Stronger muscles attached to tendons, right? If you have patella tendonitis, and you have stronger muscles, you help prevent patella tendonitis, okay? If you have stronger muscles, if you have stronger hip flexors, then your hip flexors won't hurt as bad. If you have stronger hip flexors, your back probably won't hurt as bad. If you have stronger hamstrings, your back probably won't hurt as bad. If you have a stronger anterior tibialis, which is the muscle on the front of your shin, you probably won't have as bad as shin splints, okay? I am a perfect example. I don't do long distance running, but I do sprints. I did a lot of sprints. What's up, Wes? I did do a lot of sprints during the summer, and I overcame some shin splints with just practicing some eccentric calf raises. What's up, Blev? Blev's gaining some knowledge today. Hi, I see you. My boys are in here, my homies. All right, and so that's why we got to take care of the tendons, okay? Also, in running, there is a lot of repetitive impact, okay? In our joints, it's a lot of damage to the joints. There's a lot of damage to the cartilage, okay? Having stronger muscles helps mitigate or reduce the impact on the joints, your ankle, your knee, and your hips, all right? Stronger muscles help protect the joints. Stronger muscles help protect the tendons, all right? You have to do running if you want to prevent aches, pains, and injuries, all right? If you are now... there's probably some people out there be like, look, I do lifting, but even when I lift, I hurt. You need to check your technique, check your form, all right? It could be something you're doing wrong when you're lifting. You could be squatting incorrectly. You could be deadlifting incorrectly, all right? That's a whole nother story that I can go into on a whole nother live for, all right? And that's something that I can help you with if you struggle with form or pain when you're squatting or deadlifting, okay? So that's reason number 1, reduce your aches, pains, and injuries with strength training, right? Also, what else reduces injuries, aches, and pains is running with good technique. Incidentally, lifting helps you run with better technique, okay? One of the classic problems with runners, and I see it all the time, is their knees buckling when they're hitting the ground. Their feet will hit the ground, their knees go inside, right? That's a weak glute. That's a weak glute. All right. Another thing that happens is runners run with horrendous posture sometimes. Okay, a lot of this running, just looking down. They have bad posture in their back, like that typing posture. Okay, lifting weights, doing a lot of pulling exercises helps sit you in better posture. Okay, doing core work, core resistance training helps you run with better posture. It keeps your hips from doing a bunch of tilting when you're running, okay? Also reduces injury. See, all these things are going to go hand in hand, okay? You see where I'm going with this? All these things are going to combine together. So you do strength training, you run with better technique. If your hips aren't tilting like this, your knees have less knee knock inside, okay? Your ankles have less cave inside. You reduce shin splints. So you got to run with good technique in order to also reduce pain, and you have to lift weights in order to run with good technique, okay? Because that knee knocking could be due to a weak glute. That knee knocking could be due to hips tilting when you on impact, and that could be due to a weak core or a weak posture. All right, and lifting weights and resistance training can put you in better posture, better in alignment to run with better technique. You run with better technique, you run faster. Okay? How else do you run faster? Reason number 3, increasing your strength through strength training. Obviously, strength training. When you improve your strength, you improve your force you put through the ground, which propels you further through the air, and it helps you cover more distance, reducing your number of steps that you take, reducing the amount of energy that you use, reducing the amount of impacts on your joints. You see where I'm going with this? All right? It's all tied in. It's a beautiful thing. Strength training is a fucking beautiful thing, and you need to come to terms with that and love it. Love it. It's a beautiful thing, okay? So when you improve your strength, also you improve the strength of your legs, okay? Then you're going to be able to power through hills, okay? Hills aren't going to be a problem for you anymore. When you get to that top of the hill, you're not going to be as winded, and your legs aren't going to be as tired, okay? So you might, instead of slowing down as you go up the hill, you'd be able to keep that same pace as you go up the hill. Instead of running at a 7-minute mile pace on a straight line and then hitting a 9.5 mile minute pace going up the hill, you can keep that 7 minutes per mile up the hill, right? And then get to the top of the hill and not be as tired. Now, don't get me wrong, you're going to be tired. You're going to be winded. But you also have better recovery, which leads me to my 4th reason, okay? Strength training actually improves your endurance. Strength training, I won't get into too much of the details on the physiological side of things because I don't want to bore y'all. I don't want to bore you. I know you ain't got time for that, okay? But strength training helps shuttle lactic acid out of the muscle. It makes your body more efficient shuttling the lactic acid out of the muscle. What does lactic acid do? That is the sensation that you get in your muscles that you call the burning sensation or the pump, okay? Or the exhaustion. Lactic acid is causing that. So when you lift weights, your body now becomes more resistant to the lactic acid buildup, and then you don't get such tired legs, okay? Your body becomes more endurance. So you think everybody knows that when you do more cardio, you get more endurance, right? But actually, doing strength training helps with endurance too. And that's vice versa. Doing cardio helps with strength endurance. Beautiful thing, okay? All right, now, I went through those 4 pretty quick, all right? Which leads me to my 5th point. I told you there was 5. When you do all 4 of those, you improve your time. And that's the main reason why you need to do strength training, right? All we care about is the time. We care about the time. And you can't have a good time if you're hurt. You can't have a good time if you're winded. You can't have a good time if you're cramping, right? All 4 of those, when you put them together, when you do strength training, you take care of all 4 of those, that's how you improve your time. That's how I got my sophomore high school cross-country runner to go from a 17:30 5K down to a 16:50 in his sophomore year, running on varsity. The most improved runner on the team. Okay? That's why a physical therapist who has run in the Boston Marathon came to me and asked for my strength training regimen, write her a strength training regimen. All right? Strength training works. You need to do strength training if you're running lots and lots of miles. You prevent injury. You create more longevity, right? You'll be able to, in your later years, as you get older, you'll be able to continue running because your muscles, your tendons, and joints are strong. Okay? So, those are the top 5. All right, reason number 1, reduces aches, pains, and injuries. Reason number 2, you improve your technique. Reason number 3, you obviously improve your strength, which means you power through hills. Reason number 4, you improve your endurance. Okay, all that put together. Reason number 5 is because you will, absolutely will, no doubt, improve your times. Hi, Krista. You're a runner. You enjoyed this. Go back and watch the early parts of it. I just got through my 5 tips. You're a little late. But you need to watch that. It's good stuff. Not that, you know it, you probably already know all this stuff. All right, so I'm talking about strength training. So how do you set up some strength training if you're a runner, all right? If you're a runner and you set up strength training, you listen to me, you heeded my words today, then you're going to want to work your lower body, okay? Obviously, When you work your lower body, if you think about it, you already have a ton of volume on your lower body because you're running miles. So you don't want a whole lot of volume lifting weights. You actually want to have low volume lifting weights, and you do actually want to lift heavy. Okay, you want to lift heavier weights in the 1 to 6 rep range. Heavy weights in a 1 to 6 rep range with low volume, low total workout volume on your legs. Okay, all right, that's important. Important thing number 2 is that you need to practice isometric and eccentric portions of the movement. Isometric means you're doing pauses or holds, so like a squat hold. So everybody knows when you do a squat, you squat down and come back up. All right, that's the full movement. When you go down and get to the bottom, you hold the bottom of that squat. That's an isometric hold. Or if you go down halfway, if you go down halfway, not all the way down, but halfway, and you hold that, and you hold that there for a certain amount of time, 15, 20, 30 seconds, whatever, a minute. That's the isometric part. You need to work on that, okay? The other thing I said is eccentric, all right? Everybody knows when you squat, you come down, you come back up. The eccentric part is going down. We want to slow that down, and we want to use heavy weights and slow that down, okay? Go slow. That helps produce the most strength in your muscles and your tendons. The eccentric part. And the eccentric part is especially super, super beneficial for eccentric calf raises. It really, really helps shin splints. Really helps shin splints because it really helps to strengthen the ankle, so the ankle's less wobbly when your foot's hitting the ground. Okay, so eccentric exercise, eccentric isometric exercise. Don't just do the full down up, down up, down up, down up. Okay, all right. Now, a couple of muscle groups that are probably underlooked, right, underappreciated, is your adductors, your inner thigh. Work your inner thigh more. Work your glutes more and work your hamstrings more. Your quads, your calves, and your hip flexors are getting demolished when you're doing a bunch of running. They're probably good. You probably need to roll them out and stretch them a little bit more. But definitely focus more on strengthening the hamstrings, strengthening your adductors, your inner thigh, and strengthening your glutes. Okay, using eccentric and isometrics and concentrics, but remember to do isometrics and eccentrics, okay? Now, for your upper body, obviously, if you're a runner, you don't really care too much about your upper body, but you still need to do it. Ooh, favorite adductor exercises? So, you have to get real creative with the adductor exercises. Everybody obviously knows about the machine, where you squeeze in on the machine. There's the abductor, where you open your legs up, and the adductor, where you close your legs, okay? Obviously, that's a good one. All right, but there's a couple of them that I've been doing myself, or that I kind of made up the names. I don't know if there's already a name made for it. But there's one that's called the Copenhagen plank. Okay, Copenhagen plank. Think side plank. A Copenhagen plank is just a side plank, but your foot is on a bench, either with a bent knee or a straight leg. Okay, your elbows on the ground or your hands on the ground, just like a side plank. All right, but your foot or knee is up on the bench, so your body's in a straight line from foot all the way to hip to shoulder, right? And that hanging leg doesn't do anything. So that's a Copenhagen plank. Another one is laying on your back, and you have one of those big yoga balls or Swiss balls or workout balls, whatever you want to call it, right? And you are squeezing that in between your shins. So you're on your back, you're squeezing the ball with your shins. Your knees and your hips and knees are at a 90-degree angle, so your feet here, knees, hips, back, okay? You're squeezing that ball, and then you push your legs out so they're straight, and then you bring them back in. And you push them out and bring them back in. Those are my 2 favorite adductor exercises currently. I probably am missing a couple, but those are my 2 favorite ones that I do pretty consistently. All right, but then the last thing, so I was talking about upper body. Upper body, you don't care too much if you're doing upper body, or if you're a runner and whatever, you don't have to care about upper body too much. But if you're going to do upper body and you're a runner, that's when you do want to do high volume. You do want to do high volume, lower weight, get your pump, and get the heck out of there. Now, you can always work on your abs more, because who doesn't want tight washboard abs? All right, so there you go. There you have it. Those are my 5 reasons that runners need to lift. Those are my important muscles to look after or to work on, and that is my tips on how to strengthen those important muscles. So, if you like it, if you love it, show me. Put a little like. Share it, because I know you know some runners that need to hear this. Share it so they can see it. Maybe tag them in it. And then save it for later. Who knows when you might need it. Who knows when you're going to start running. Let me know if you like it. Put some fire down there. You know what? I love doing this for y'all. Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me rant. Thanks for listening. I am your leader in health, fitness, and weightlifting, and seems to be running. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, leave them below or message me. All right? I'm out. I'm done. Happy hustle.